looked like you worked really, really hard on finding out who Cantinflas was. And so, what was your process?
Well, when I get the role, I get clear that it were two characters in the same role. No? It was Mario Moreno was the first one, and Cantinflas the second one. And the way I have to work on them, it was totally different. In Cantinflas, I had a lot of movies about him. I had a lot of footage, but Mario Moreno, he was a really secret man, and he had a lot of things that I wanted to explain. But how could I done it? And I thought the best thing were with asking his people, his friends, the people who work with him, and his family. And questions, a lot of questions, and uncomfortable questions, because I needed for create this man.
Did you meet his son, or
yeah.
Were they very helpful? And
yes, of course. I think he was, and he supported us. So it was very important. Me, please.
I didn't speak with him that much, just because he met Valentina just a few years. Valentina dies when he was very young, like 4 or 5 years old. So, and the way I worked with Valentina was quite different, because I didn't have too much information about her. She was always the woman on the side or behind Mario Moreno.
And she was there for a long time.
Yeah, all her life.
Yeah.
And so, no, I didn't make that research with the son.
But you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Lo voy a preguntar en inglés porque se me hace un poco más fácil.
Sí, claro.
Sorry.
No, don't worry at all.
So I was thinking, is there something in the movie that you would have liked to have seen included that you felt that was left out, that you, maybe it's something, a little piece of him that you would have...
I would love all movies were in our movie. All his movies were there, but it is impossible. But no, his life was such an amazing life with a lot of ups and downs, and we just have 1 hour and 55. This was our pity, no? Just 1 hour and 45. Shit.
Ilse, no?
Sí.
You had to be Russian. So, how did you work on that Russian accent?
Well, I got an accent coach who told me, you have a very deep voice, and in Russia in that time the woman didn't talk like that. And I was like, okay. and then I decided with Sebastian, the director, to put just a little bit of accent, because she came here when she was 6 years old, here now in Mexico, and she grew up there. So we have this license, the freedom to decide if she got or not the accent, and I made it just very discreet. And in the 50s, in the end of the movie, she didn't have the accent at all.
Yeah, because you guys were much older then.
Yeah.
When we were talking to Sebastian and the producers, and we were talking about how the beauty of the film also is showing the diversity in Mexico. And what do you guys think about that? Because of that, most people don't realize how diverse Mexico is, with Russians and French and Middle Easterns.
No, our director of photography, Carlos, do a fantastic job. He was always with the detail. He was always, and Christopher Lagunes is our art director, and he was always asking us and asking history, what the rooms and all the furniture, how it's been, and all the stuff. It was amazing. I love the photography of our movie. I think it's very, you can see the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. I think in the dresses, all the stuff, it's quite a good done.
Well, one of the other beauty of the film is the way it was shot, because people forget too that Mexico had a golden era of movies, and beautiful black and white images. So how much influence that era made for you in making this film?
Well, that's the Mexico that my grandfathers told me about when I was a child. Mexico was like this and that. Yeah, right. And it's nothing like today. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. I love my country, but it's very, very different from those days. And to recreate that Mexico was like going back in time, and I don't know, like a fairy tale, which it was real someday. Mm. So I don't know. For me, it was very excited and emotional.
Mario Moreno gets that his character traveled all around the world, and we are talking about 50s or 40s or 60s when you have no internet, when the TV were very few people, and cinema was just for rich people, and was very, very difficult. And now we try to do the same, to join all Latin Americans with the same movie, Cantinflas, because it's what he did. He joined all Latin Americans, no matter seas, no matter countries, we are all together.
Yeah. And like you just said too, that you are European, but you're also Latino Americano.
Of course.
Because we're all connected somehow.
Yeah, somehow we are all connected. It's just one world.
Last question.
Well, what do you? Hopefully, this will be a very successful film for you. And what are you guys working on next?
Well, I have the premiere of Güeros, which was a film I was doing before Cantinflas, just one day before I finished that movie. And it won La Berlinale. And now is the premiere in Mexico City at October or November. And I just finished one film 2 weeks ago, and I'm doing a TV project now, and I'm being a mom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they had to release Hands of Stone, Jonathan Jakubowicz's film with De Niro, Turturro, El Embarque in a Roberto's Duran life, a boxer, amazing movie. The Librarian with Marcia Gay Harden, and an English movie, and shoot it in London. It's called The White Room, and hopefully arrives here in the USA. Let's see.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.